Your daily habits are quietly shaping your entire life, whether you're aware of it or not. If you're constantly rushing, overcommitted, or chasing goals that don't truly matter to you, one day you'll look up and think, how did I get here? That's what I mean by living on autopilot. If that sounds familiar, this is your gentle reset. In this video, I'll show you how to slow down and start building a life that actually feels good, not just one that looks good on the outside. Before we dive in, hi, I'm Veronika and I'm so glad you're here. On this channel, we talk about soft productivity, intentional routines, and creating a life that actually feels yours. So if you're into all of that, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of this growing community. Today, what I want to do with you guys is I want to do an intentional life exercise together. This simple practice helped me stop filling my days with things that just looked impressive but didn't quite feel right. Because the first step to reclaiming your time is knowing what deserves your time. I highly encourage all of you to do this exercise with me, and I have two ways you can do that. You can grab the free printable worksheet I made for this video that has a full list of core values you can choose from and the intentional life table we're building together today. The link to this PDF is going to be in the description. Or if you're more of a visual planner like me, I've also created a digital version inside xTiles, which is kindly sponsoring today's video. If Notion feels too complicated to you, like too many blocks, too many steps, xTiles is a simpler and more visual alternative. It honestly feels like your favorite paper planner. You can use it for planning, journaling, and organizing your entire life in one place. So let me actually walk you guys through my intentional life exercise on xTiles. It probably took me 5 to 10 minutes to create this visual table. It was that easy. You can easily drag all of these tiles around. If you want it here, you can save it here. If you want it here, you can save it here. You can also customize everything. For example, if you want an icon or not. And obviously the style. They have a lot of different styles and also a lot of different colors to choose from. Of course, you can customize your banner as well. I just have to click on change cover, and there is a very big collection for me to choose from. Okay, and now let me show you my favorite part of using xTiles, my planner. When you get xTiles and go to your workspace, you will see a button that says My Planner. It's created by xTiles to help you get started in a fast and simple way. Let's go to my weekly view first because it's the page I spend most of my time on. This is the template that I chose and I customized it, but you can click the weekly template button and choose the one that you like best. Every day has its own space, so it's really convenient and I can actually see where my time is going. You can navigate between your daily, weekly, and monthly views below. The calendar on xTiles can be actually synchronized with your Google Calendar, and that is what I did. And one of my favorite tabs is called Tasks because it's built using the Eisenhower matrix. What I do is I dump everything in the unsorted box, and then I sort by what I need to do now, what I need to schedule, what I need to delegate, or even delete. And if we exit my planner, xTiles has a lot of other templates to choose from, like a budget tracker, ultimate ADHD planner, your second brain, a bullet journal, a lot of different things. If you're working on designing a life that feels soft and intentional, and you want a peaceful way to stay organized without using 10 different complicated apps, I think you really love xTiles. So if you're ready to organize your life, use my link in the description to try xTiles today. Okay, so now let's move on to the first step of the intentional life exercise. I have my iPad right here and I'm gonna be doing this exercise together with you guys. The first step of this exercise is figuring out your 5 core values right now. I took this information from Atomic Habits from James Clear. You can use my PDF or you can just use his website and check the list there. The list is kind of long, but if you look at it this way, you can already see patterns or values that really speak out to you. And that is why the first thing that I'm going to do is circle all of the values that I think are aligned with me. I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna just do 5. I'm gonna do as many as I want. Okay, and now I'm gonna look at all of the values that I have circled and I'm going to highlight the 5 core values for me right now. And here I really recommend to pick values that feel like you. If you close your eyes, if you just sit with them, do they feel like you? Don't choose values that you think you should pick, not what is trendy right now. For example, fame and wealth might be trendy, but if they don't speak out to you as your core values, don't choose them. Maybe for you, something else feels more honest, more you. I'm sure among all of these values right here, you will be able to find the ones that reflect who you are or who you want to become. What I'm going to choose is balance, growth, inner harmony, meaningful work, and authenticity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay, so step number 2 is creating your values table. This table has 5 columns, and every single column is going to represent your core value. The reason why I like creating a table is because it helps me see my life kind of laid out in this way, and this helps me see patterns. You might realize that you're putting your energy into everything except the values that matter the most to you. Moving on to step number 3, which is going to be writing down all of the daily or weekly actions that you do that are aligned with who you want to become, with your goals, with your true values. As an example, balance. I schedule movement. I invest into courses. Just for the sake of this video, I'm only going to write down one daily or weekly action in one column, but I highly encourage you guys to write as many as you can. All the things that you already do that are aligned with your values, that are aligned with the person you want to become. And that is how we go to step 4, misaligned habits. And this is honestly the most difficult part. On a separate page, you're going to write down all of the things that you already do that are not aligned with any of your core values. And the reason why I want you to do this exercise is not to make you feel guilty. This whole exercise is not about guilt. It's about becoming aware, becoming intentional, and recognizing patterns. I wrote, I wear clothes I like. I wear clothes that feel soft, that feel like me. And so one misaligned thing that I still do sometimes is I buy things just because I saw someone else have it on Instagram. And that is a big problem to me because it influences my finances, it influences my perception of me. I know that that's time and money I could have spent on things that truly matter to me. And so when I do that, when I buy clothes that I don't really like, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like me. And I'm not saying that when I'm reflecting on this, I'm just gonna try to get rid of this habit as fast as humanly possible. If it feels easy to me to let go of this misaligned habit, of course I'm gonna do it. But sometimes things take time. And so maybe instead you can ask yourself, how can I align those things better with my values? Maybe not completely get rid of them, but just make them a little bit more aligned. So now, for example, when I see someone on social media wear something that I like, I'm going to research this brand. I'm not gonna tell myself, no, Veronika, you're not buying anything from Instagram and YouTube, because I don't want to do that. I do want to get inspired by other people, and some people do share really useful recommendations. I just need to tweak my filtering system a little bit. And instead of rushing and buying the first thing I see, just calm down a little bit. Wait a little bit, a few days, research this brand, and then make a decision that is aligned with my values. When I talk about intention and living in alignment instead of on autopilot, what I mean is your daily actions reflect your core values. Not your to-do list, not your followers, not your productivity apps. Your values. Honestly, my own journey with intentions and alignment and living on autopilot started when I was just 17 years old, and I was in college, and I went to college to study Chinese. My major was called Asian and African Studies. On paper, it looked like a great decision for me. A great university, a difficult language, and a stable career path as an interpreter. But the truth is, I didn't really know what I wanted wanted to do when I was 17. And I mean, most people don't. It's kind of hard to know what you want to do with your career when you're only 17, 18, when you're just in high school. And the reason why I didn't like my major wasn't because of my university or my professors or my classes. All of that was amazing. It just didn't feel like me. I remember having this thought, this quiet fear that if I keep doing this every day, this will eventually become my life. And that's when I knew that I had to change something. I had to start aligning my values with my actions. And to be honest, that takes a lot of courage. In the moment, it feels so freaking scary to let go of that part of your life slowly, step by step, but still, like, you know, you're now moving in a different direction. Honestly, being able to say what doesn't fit you anymore is such a great skill. I have another story for you guys. When I hit 1 million followers on my old Instagram, a lot of people would tell me, "You made it." And I felt happy, of course, but at the same time, I felt like I wanted to start a new Instagram page. I wanted to start making a different type of content. And I knew that on my old page, I couldn't really continue doing that. Or for myself, I just decided that it would be best to start over. And yes, now I have a brand new account and my audience there is way smaller, but I'm making content that feels like me. The reason why I'm making all of these difficult choices is because I want to be living a life where I do less of the things that I don't like and more of the things that I do like. I want to spend more of my time on what I want, when I want, and with whom I want. And if you ask me, this is real freedom. This is where this core value of inner harmony really stands out to me. And I think what really helped me listen to myself more and start reconnecting with my values is using social media less. Because other people influence your opinion so much. When I doom scroll, when I hear all of that noise, it's often really difficult for me to hear myself, to hear what I want, to hear what I need. Do I want this because I saw this on social media? Or do I want this because this is aligned with my core values and it's going to make me feel fulfilled? And you guys know that I'm not that person who is going to tell you delete social media, never ever use it again, because I mean, I make content on social media and I do like following people on social media. I like watching YouTube, I like Instagram, watching other people's stories, but I do it with intention. Before opening any social media app, I have a clear goal why I'm doing this right now. Am I doing it because I'm bored, because I want to doom scroll and waste an hour, 2 hours of my time? Okay, if this is the answer, maybe I can do something else. Maybe I can go for a walk, maybe I can move my body, exercise, practice yoga, instead of just adding more noise into my life that is going to impact my decisions later on. Alright, I think it's going to be it for today's video. If you liked it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Your support, your comments really mean a lot to me. Don't forget that you can access the Intentional Life exercise by clicking the link in my description. And also, if you want to simplify the way you plan your life, the way you write down all of your tasks every single day, I highly recommend xTiles. You will find the link to try them out in my description as well. If this video resonated with you, and if you're ready to take your next step towards living a more intentional and meaningful life instead of on autopilot, I highly recommend watching this video next.